Hello lovelies, welcome to this Vinyasa Flow practice. Today our practice is going to be focused on the water element. So water element is associated to our Svadhisthana chakra, which is located in our pelvis region around our hips. And water element in Ayurveda is associated with our emotions, with our passions, with fluidity of life, creativity, also a sense of being able to enjoy the pleasures and simple joys of life. So when our water element is balanced, we are able to connect easily with other people in our lives in a profound way, and also to tap into our emotions. We are also able to let things go. This is why people use this analogy of going with the flow of life. So in our practice today, we are going to be working a lot with our hips. In Ayurveda and in yoga therapy, we believe that a lot of our stored emotions are held in our hips. So we're going to be doing some lovely hip openers. So let's start our practice on our back. And we can get immediately into our hips by bringing our feet together in Baddha Konasana and coming to lay down. You can just have your palms facing up towards the ceiling. And just take a deep inhale through your nose and an exhale out your mouth. As you arrive completely on your mat, bringing your attention to your hips, allowing your knees to fall out gently to the side, allowing gravity to help you to open into your hip joint, into your inner thighs. Feel your whole back grounded on your mat. Relaxing the shoulders and releasing any tension you have in your face, in your jaw. Inviting this sense of ease, of going with the flow. Let's start to engage our Ujjayi breath. So we are going to breathe only in and out of our nose. And let's look for deep inhales and even longer, deeper exhales. So we maintain that slight constriction at the back of the throat so you can hear yourself breathing and using the sound of a distant wave to keep our mind grounded. Take 5 more deep Ujjayi breaths. Each exhale, inviting a bit more relaxation into your hip joints. And you can gently open your eyes and help your knees together with your hands. You can draw your knees into your chest, and from here we're going to make a few hip circles. So moving the knees out towards the sides with the help of your hands, exhaling as you bring the knee into the chest, inhaling to circle it out. Make 3 more in this direction. Exploring the full movement of your hip joint. And then let's change direction. So 5 big circles in the opposite direction. And then ground your feet, having your feet about hip distance apart and starting to engage your legs here. Bring your right leg and put it over your left thigh, so your ankle is just below the knee. And bringing your right hand onto the inner right thigh and just push your knee towards the front, so you start to feel an opening in your right hip. Your left toes can remain flexed. And then from here we're going to thread the needle, so bringing the hand through this hole that we've created and hugging the front of the knee in towards the chest. If that's not accessible to you, you can straighten out your left leg and hug behind your thigh. Take 3 deep, long Ujjayi breaths here. And keep encouraging the right knee forwards, and grounding through your back. Sending your breath to the hip. Gently release, grounding through the left foot, and place your palms on the ground next to you, and flexing into your right foot, encouraging the right knee forwards. On an inhale, we're going to raise our hips up to the sky, and leveling out the hip, so making a straight parallel line from your right ankle to the right knee, and breathing space into your right hip. And on your exhale, grounding your hips down, stretching your right leg up, and then grounding the foot down. And bringing your left leg on top, and placing the ankle just below the knee. And bring your left hand to the inner left thigh and just help your thigh forwards, and opening into your left hip, flexing into the left toes. Deep breaths. And then threading the needle here, coming in to our reclined pigeon, and hugging your leg in towards you. And if you took the other version on your other side, you can do that, extending your leg up towards the ceiling and hugging behind your hamstring. And keep encouraging your left knee forwards. And the whole of your back should be grounded on your mat. And send your breath into your hip. And you'll also feel a nice stretch along your IT band on the outside of your leg. On an exhale, gently grounding and placing your hands, palms down on the mat. And on an inhale, raise the hips up, encouraging your left knee down. And breathing space in this pigeon bridge position. And bringing all the attention of release and ease to your hips. And then exhale your hips down, and releasing your foot. Hug your knees into your chest. And then start to rock up and down your spine, just finding some release. Giving a lovely little massage to your back. Next time you come to the top, Find your way into your yogic squat and grounding through your feet, hands into the heart, and finding some nice length with your spine. It's okay if you can't flatten the feet completely. You can balance on your toes. And just finding some nice opening into our hips here. And bring your left hand behind you and bring the right knee in towards the center. You can take a little twist here by bringing right elbow onto the left knee. Deep inhale to lengthen through the spine and exhale to twist. And inhale through center. Bring the right hand behind you, left knee to the center, and finding your twist on the other side with your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to twist. Inhale through center. And find your grounding again in your squat. As you shift your pelvis down towards the floor, find length in the spine. On an exhale, ground into the hands, make your feet parallel and come into a gentle forward fold. You can rock from side to side here, just opening into your hamstrings. And bend into your knees. Come up slowly, one vertebra at a time. Loop your shoulders up, back, and down. And come to the front of your mat. Your toes can be touching, heels slightly apart, palms forwards. And just taking a moment here to ground. And coming back to your Ujjayi breath. And gently opening your eyes. On an inhale, raise the arms up, gaze up. Exhale, hands through the heart and start to bend over your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale to gaze forward. Exhale as you step your right leg back, knee comes down to the ground, top of the foot can ground as well. On an inhale, let's raise up into our Anjaneyasana, sending your arms up energetically and opening here into this right hip flexor, into the psoas muscle at the front of this right leg. At the same time, for support, we are sending the left hip backwards, squeezing the hips together to find a strong foundation. Take another 2 deep breaths here. Finding opening in the front of the right leg. As you exhale, hands through the heart and down to your mat. Step back into the top of a plank, rock forward on an inhale. Exhale, knees, then chest, then chin to the ground. Inhale to come up to your cobra as you roll the shoulders away from the ears, scapula down your back. Active into the front part of your legs. Exhale onto your knees, tuck your toes under and come in to your downward facing dog. And we're going to move through here a few flowing downward facing dogs. So just think about mimicking the motions of a wave. You may want to have it a little bit shorter. On an inhale, you're going to rock forward. Exhale, we're going to bend into the knees and send the hips up, downward facing dog. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, come back. 3 more times with your own breath. And then finding your downward facing dog. Sucking your navel in towards the spine. Take a deep inhale. And a deep exhale. On an inhale, right leg rises, pointing your toes. Exhale, step it between your hands, knee comes down to the ground, and maybe the top of the foot. Inhale your arms up for Anjaneyasana. And again, bringing the attention into this left hip flexor. Maybe also noticing, does your one hip feel different? Yoga is also about becoming absolutely aware of what's going on in our body. And then practicing in a way that we can bring balance and release. One more deep breath. As you exhale, hands into the heart and down to your mat. Step forward, inhale to lengthen and exhale to fold. On an inhale, rise up, big loop of the arms. And exhale, hands through the heart and down to your sides. You can gently open your eyes. On an inhale, let's raise our arms up, gaze up. Exhale, hands through the heart, bending from the hips, and place the hands on the shins or onto the mat, forward fold. Inhale to gaze forward and to lengthen. Exhale, step the left leg back, knee comes down to the ground. Inhale as you open up, Anjaneyasana, gaze up. Exhale, hands through the heart. Bring your left hand to the inside of the right foot, and on an inhale, raise the right arm up, follow with your gaze. Twisting around your core, opening into the left hip flexor. Take a deep inhale here, and as you exhale, you can bring your right hand onto the right thigh and just opening it up to the side. If you like, you can roll onto the outside of this right foot, just keeping your toes flexed to protect your ankle and gazing over the right shoulder. Take 2 deep breaths, sending spaciousness into your right hip. Inhale to come up through center, leveling out your pelvis. And as you exhale, bringing your hands to the inside of your right foot, we're going to come into a side squat. So you can keep your hands down here. This can feel quite intense for some people, so this may be enough for you. If you want more, we can make some more space to send the left leg forward and really get the hips down, grounding and opening up maybe the hands to the heart for your Skandasana. And finding length in your spine here, using this contact of the arm against the inner thigh to help you to ground down through the hips and grow out through your spine. Deep inhale and a deep exhale. As you inhale, transition through center towards your left leg, finding your squat on this side, or shifting the toes up towards the ceiling, making space for your hips to ground down. As a deep exhale, deep inhale, and deep exhale. As you inhale, let's transition over the left leg, finding our Anjaneyasana here, grounding through the right knee. The top of the foot can come down to the mat if you like. Inhale, your arms up. Find the full expression of your Anjaneyasana, pushing your right hip flexor forward. As you exhale, hands through the heart. Right hand to the inside of the left foot. Inhale, left arm up towards the sky, twisting around your core. Keep grounding through your pelvis, sending your right hip forwards. Take another deep inhale. And as you exhale, you can bring this hand to the inside of the thigh and just push it gently away from you, rolling onto the outside of your left foot, gazing over your shoulder. And 2 more deep breaths here, sending release to your left hip. And opening into your right hip flexor of your extended leg. Inhale to come through center. As you level out the pelvis, gaze forward, send your heart forward. As you exhale, step forward. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to fold. Bend into the knees and roll up gently, one vertebra at a time. Loop the shoulders up, back and down. Ground through your feet. Take a moment to observe, to come back to that peaceful, fluid sound of your Ujjayi breath. Gently opening the eyes. On an inhale, raise the arms up, follow with your gaze. Exhale, hands into the heart. Transfer your weight into the left leg. Draw the right into your chest. From here, bringing the right leg over the left for our standing pigeon. Same shape we started our practice, and just in its standing form. So you can bring your elbows onto this little pedestal you've created. Really ground through your left foot and encourage the right knee down. Hands into Namaste. If this is too much for you, you can also stay up here. Take 2 more deep breaths here. As we inhale, we draw the knee into the chest and exhale to fold. Inhale to gaze forward, lengthen through the spine, tailbone up to the sky. And as we exhale, we send the right leg back, knee to the ground, top of the foot to the mat. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, gaze up. As we exhale, draw the energy into the hands. Cup your fingertips on the mat. We're going to straighten out the front leg for baby Hanuman. And here, just check your hips are not protruding out to the right. That may be the tendency. And just see if this is quite intense for you already. You may want to bring the hands back. That's going to make it a bit easier. If your leg is very long, you may need to actually bring the leg forward. So just find some comfort in your baby Hanuman. Take a deep inhale. Lengthen through the spine and exhale, soften through your middle back, folding. Inhale, rock forward. And finding our low lunge. And as we exhale, baby Hanuman. Moving through this 2 more times. Inhale to come forward. And exhale to straighten out the front leg. Inhale forward, open your heart. And exhale, baby Hanuman. Inhale to come forward, tuck your toes under and lift your back knee off of the ground. As you exhale, bend into your back leg, straighten the front. Inhale, come forward. And exhale, bend the back, straighten the front. 1 more time. Inhale, come forward. And exhale, come back. Inhale, come forward. And ground into your back knee. And you can bring the top of the foot down to the mat. Inhale, left arm up for your easy twist. From here, you can tuck the toes under and start to ground a lot through this right arm and pushing the mat away from you. And you can step your left foot to the middle of the mat, roll onto the back of your back foot there, even really grounding, pushing up the hips. And here you're in your supported Vashisthasana. If you want a bit more, you can stack your left foot on top of the right, sending your hips up towards the sky, pushing the mat away from you. If you want even more, you can ground into that back foot and bring the knee up towards the sky, opening up to the side, pushing yourself away. Whatever version you've taken, take 1 more deep inhale. And as you exhale, finding your way into your plank. Inhale to rock forward. And exhale, moving through your vinyasa. You can come onto your knees if you need it. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. And from your downward facing dog, lifting the left leg up on an inhale, pointing your toe. On an exhale, sending it between your hands. Inhale to gaze forward. And as you exhale, start to transition into your side squat or into your Anjaneyasana. Deep inhale and exhale, opening through the hips. Inhale through center. Exhale, Skandasana or side squat towards your right leg. Deep inhale, lengthen. And exhale, sink the hips down. On an inhale, coming over your right leg, pushing the heart forward. Exhale to step the legs towards the front of the mat. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to fold. Bend into the knees and roll up one vertebra at a time. Loop your shoulders up, back, and down. And grounding through your feet. Take a moment to regather your breath. And coming back to that deep Ujjayi breath. And the sound of a distant ocean. And using that sound to keep you present as we flow through the other side in a moving meditation. And gently open your eyes. On an inhale, you can raise the arms up, bringing the left knee in towards your chest. As you exhale, coming down into our standing pigeon on the other side. As we did on the other side, you can use this nice shelf of your leg to rest your hands on. And sinking your hips down low, encouraging the left knee down, breathing spaciousness and release into your left hip, keeping a steady gaze to help you with your balance. Inhale, rise up. And exhale to fold, Uttanasana. Inhale to look forward, lengthen. And as you exhale, step the left leg back. Knee comes down to the ground. Inhale as you raise up, Anjaneyasana. As you exhale, hands through the heart, straightening out the front leg for your baby Hanuman. And doing the same checks you did on the other side, finding a position that works for you, maybe moving the foot a bit forwards, your hands a bit back, and let it feel good. Let it invite also a sense of ease. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to fold. Softening through your mid-back. As we inhale, we're going to rock forwards and coming into our low lunge, opening the heart. And as we exhale is straighten baby Hanuman. 2 more times. Inhale to come forward, opening through our psoas. And exhale to fold baby Hanuman. Inhale, come forward. And exhale to fold. Inhale, come forward. Tuck your back toes under and lift the knee off of the ground. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, let's bend into the back knee, straighten out the front. 2 more. Inhale, come forward. And exhale to fold. Inhale, forward. And exhale to fold. Inhale, come forward. Knee can come down to the ground. Ground your left hand. And on an inhale, raise the right up, twisting around your core. you can tuck your back toes under and really ground through this left shoulder. We're coming into Vashisthasana as we did on the other side. And step your right foot halfway through your mat and shifting that foot onto the side. You can stay here for your Vashisthasana, or if you like, stacking left on right, sending the hips up high. If you want even more, we're grounding through this back foot. Bend first into the knee, and then from there, opening right hip on left. One more deep inhale, and as we exhale, bend everything to come over into the top of a push-up. Inhale, rock forward. And exhale, move through your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, let's all come into child's pose. We can make it a wide-legged child's pose to get into our hips. Just extending yourself over your mat. Deep breaths. Take another 2 deep breaths. Just observing the effects of this water element flow. And slowly rising up, tucking the toes under, and coming into your downward facing dog. On an inhale, let's raise the right leg up towards the ceiling. As we exhale, we're going to step it to the outside of our right leg. And here, you can start walking your left leg back. The knee can come down to the ground, and you can stay here. We're coming in for our lizard, or you can place your hands down and just play with the distance between your knee and this foot, maybe sending the leg a little bit back, but not pushing yourself too far. And finding that comfortable edge where you feel that there's opening happening in the hip and in your hip flexor. But obviously we do not want to push too hard. And opening up slowly is a much more healthier approach. And also here, this foot can roll onto the side if that feels safe and comfortable for the hip. If you like, you can even open it out to the side as we did in our Anjaneyasana. And choosing your version. And let's stay here for another 5 deep, releasing breaths. And slowly helping yourself up. From here, we're going to walk that foot all the way over to the other side of our mat. We're coming in here for our sleeping pigeon. And you're going to ground your foot down. And then we want to send this left leg back. So start to walk it backwards as much as you can to get this hip to roll downwards and trying to ground here. And then just playing with the shape of this front leg. So we don't want any tension in the knee. If you bring your leg in a bit closer, you will feel how that will take some tension off the knee. But for those who want a more intense bend in the right hip, you can bring it out a little bit more. So just choose what feels good to you. Maybe settling down, finding your openness with a few movements from left to right and trying to ground this left hip. Maybe walking yourself up, finding grounding, heaviness, opening in the hips. Don't feel any pain here in the lumbar spine. If you do feel a pinching, just walk yourself a little bit forward. And then let's everybody start to walk ourselves over our leg, extending our hands forwards And coming into our sleeping Kapha. Let's take another 5 long deep breaths here. Just bringing your full attention to your hips and sending your breath there, helping you to release any tension you feel, helping you to face any emotions that arise. And with the sensations of water element, just allowing it to flow in and flow out, and finding ease through your breath. And start to rise up slowly, walking your hands towards you. And shift your weight over towards the right, so you can bring this left leg forwards. And we're going to come in for a twist here. So if you can, you're placing your left foot on the other side of your knee. If that's not open to you, you can just place it this side. And find some grounding here in your hips, so you may need to move them from side to side. And then take a deep inhale, hugging the knee into the chest on an exhale. On an inhale, raise this left arm up and place it behind you, cupping your fingers. Let that help you to sit up nice and straight. And then inhale this arm up, your right arm. And as you exhale, we're going to hook the right elbow on the left knee. And then really activating these fingers. Each inhale, lengthen through the spine, and exhale to twist. Gazing over left shoulder and still grounding through the left hip. And beautiful twist for the spine, allowing fluidity in the spine. And so much of our health is linked to the fluidity, the health, the mobility of our spine. And also here, finding a different kind of opening around our hips, and feeling it also in our glutes, creating a gentle pressure on the ligaments in our hip joints. On an inhale, come back through center. And on an exhale, extend the left leg in front of you and draw the right foot in towards the inner thigh. We're going to inhale the arms up. And as we exhale, shining the chest forward and coming down slowly, slowly. Not rounding into the back, keeping the integrity of the spine. And then arms are going to land where they do. If your chest is already down on to the thigh, you can grab on to the outside of your wrist here with the opposite hand, or just placing the hands onto the shin, onto the foot. And take 5 deep breaths here. On an inhale, raise up slowly, shifting your weight towards the right. Send that left leg back so you find yourself in your pigeon. Tuck your toes under, send the right leg up, and just open your right hip on top of the left. Make some releasing movements here, doing whatever you need to release into that right hip. And then grounding the right foot. On an inhale, raising the left, pointing your toes. Exhale to step it to the outside of the left foot, coming in here for our lizard. And grounding through your back right foot if you like. Same thing we did on the other side, finding your range of motion here. Where do you feel some opening? And choosing if you want to stay upright. If You want to bring your forearms down to the mat. Also a choice to roll the left foot onto the side and maybe open up into that hip by placing the left hand onto the left thigh. Take 5 deep releasing breaths. And finding space where you can soften, where you can let go. And then helping yourself up slowly. Start to walk that left foot all the way over to the right for our pigeon. We're going to ground this foot down and doing the same work we did on the other side, drawing the right hip back and then finding our range of movement here, trying to roll this right hip downwards. So we get also a lovely opening through our right hip flexor. So we feel it both here in the front of the extended leg and in our left hip joint. And then maybe walking yourself backwards and finding that weight, that heaviness in the hips to really start opening into your pigeon pose. And then we're all going to walk forwards in our sleeping pigeon, taking some deep, releasing, relaxing breaths. Maybe just noticing how this side might feel different from the other. Using that strong breath to help you to release and to confront any discomfort. Deep exhales to help you to let go, to soften. Slowly rising up. Shifting the weight over to the left and bringing the right foot forwards. And then again here, finding the grounding through the sit bones. Hugging the knee into the chest, finding length. Inhale the right arm up and place it behind you, cupping your fingers. Nice long straight spine. Inhale left arm up. And exhale to find your twist with your left elbow on the right knee. Active left fingertips. Each inhale lengthening through the spine. And exhale to twist. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to twist. Inhale through center, and as you exhale, extend the right leg forward, draw the left in towards the inner thigh for Janushree. Inhale, raise the arms up, and as you exhale, shining the heart forwards, bending from your hips. And when you feel like your back is starting to round, stopping there, placing the hands on the shins or on the foot. If your belly is already hugging onto the thigh, then you can relax your head down. If not, keep the gaze to your toes. That's going to help you to keep shining your heart forward and finding that nice straight spine. Another 3 deep breaths here. Inhale to raise up. Exhale here. Shifting the weight to the left, bringing the right leg back, finding your pigeon. Grounding through the hands, tuck the right toes under, send the left leg up, and opening it in to your three-legged dog, finding whatever movements your hip is asking for, and finding that release. And then grounding both your feet. And from our downward facing dog, let's just bring our knees down to the ground and the sitting bones, extending the legs out in front of you and coming down gently onto your back. And a choice of an inversion here today. You can take Viparita Karani, which is waterfall pose, and you're just going to extend your feet up towards the ceiling. You can have the legs straight or a bend in your knees. You can have a block under your sitting bones as well to make it easier to keep the legs up. If you like, you can also come into a shoulder stand, sending your legs up, finding support on your lower back and trying to find a nice straight line, supporting your back with your hands. Not moving around in this position. And take 10 deep breaths in your inversion. Each exhale, inviting relaxation. Engaging ease into our cool down practice, allowing the body to assimilate all of the asanas we've moved through today. If you're in shoulder stand, you can also place your feet behind your head, coming in halasana. Maybe interlacing the fingers and spreading them down onto the mat. And then wherever you are in your waterfall or in your halasana, come down really slowly. You can hug the knees into the chest and just rock from side to side. And giving your back a little massage. And then extending yourself over your mat for our final resting pose, Shavasana. Take a deep inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth. And one more, just giving yourself complete permission to relax 100%. And start to bring movement back into your fingers and your toes. And bringing your attention back into your body. And slowly rolling on to your right side, cradling your head in your hands. And slowly, without rush, coming up into a seated position. Your eyes can remain closed, hands into the heart. Take a few deep, restful breaths. And just bringing your attention back to our practice, to our water element. And just taking a moment to think, to ponder on which characteristics of water you would like to bring into your life. A sense of enjoying life, a sense of ease, going with the flow, and creativity, and deep, authentic connection to our emotions and to people in our lives. And take one more deep breath here, and a deep exhale. If you'd like to close the practice with me, we'll chant an Om and 3 Shantis. Inhale to chant. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today. Have a beautiful day.